Hello, good morning viewers. In this tutorial we are going to learn how to simplify matrices. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, press the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new content, and don't forget to share to your learning colleagues. So now let us look on to the first question. If x and y are matrices, we are asked to simplify A 2x, B negative 3y, and C 4x minus 2y. So now let us begin with the first one, which is 2x. This 2x is just a scalar multiplication where we are going to multiply the matrix x by a scalar 2, where every element in this matrix is going to be affected by this positive number 2. So it is as simple as multiplying each element in this matrix x by this real number 2. So we begin. 2x is equal to 2 multiplied by 4 negative 8 negative 11 3. It is as simple as this. So now this simplifies to a new matrix, 4 multiplied by 2 negative 11 multiplied by 2 negative 8 multiplied by 2, and finally 3 multiplied by 2. We simplify and obtain our final answer. This is equal to a new matrix. 4 times 2 is 8, negative 8 times 2 is negative 16, negative 11 times 2 is negative 22, and finally 2 times 3 is 6. So this is the required solution for this 2 multiplied by matrix x. So now let us look on to the second one, which is also a scalar multiplication. We are going to use this real number negative 3 to multiply all the entries in this matrix y. So let me do it to the other side. We have b here. Negative 3y is the same thing as negative 3 multiplied by the matrix y, which we have the entries as negative 5, 1, 0, and 6. This is equal to, we have negative 5 multiplied by negative 3, then positive 1 multiplied by negative 3, 0 multiplied by negative 3, and finally 6 multiplied by negative 3. We simplify and obtain our final answer. Negative negative will change it to positive. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 0 times whatever there is 0. 6 times 3 is 18, but we have a negative sign, so we have negative 18. And this is our required solution for negative 3 multiplied by y. Let us look on to the last one, which is a simplification of 4 multiplied by matrix x minus 2 multiplied by matrix y. While simplifying matrices, you are always free to apply the principle of BODMAS. So now we are going to first of all multiply each of these matrices by their corresponding scalars. So let's begin with this 4x. See, we're asked to simplify 4x minus 2y. 4x will be equal to 4 multiplied by this matrix x, which we have here as 4, negative 8, negative 11, 3. This is equal to, I can go directly. 4 times 4 is 16, so we have 16. 4 times negative 11 is negative 44. Then 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. 4 times 3 is 12. So this is 4x. So now let us find this 2y before subtracting the 2y from 4x. So for 2y, it is as simple as multiplying 2 by the matrix y, which we have there as negative 5, 1, 0, 6. This is equal to 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. So now this is our 2y, this is our 4x. We are now free to subtract this matrix from this matrix. Therefore, we say 4x minus 2y is the same thing as bringing, this is 4x, this is the matrix 4x, 16, negative 32, negative 44, 12, then minus 2y, we have it here as negative 10, we have 0 here, we have 2, we have 12. Okay, remember that while performing subtraction or addition, you have to connect each element with its corresponding one. 16 here corresponds to negative 10. Negative 44 corresponds to 2 because this is a first row, first column element. You have to attach it or join it with the first row, first column element. So this simplifies 2. We take 16, we are subtracting, we subtract the corresponding element which we have as negative 10 there. We take this one, you give a space, negative 44, then minus 2. You come here, negative 32, you subtract the corresponding one, which is 0. Then the last but not the least, 12 minus 12. We simplify and obtain our final result. So finally, we can write 4x minus 2y equals the new matrix. You know, minus minus, we'll change it to positive. 16 plus 10 is going to make it 26. Negative 32, negative 0 is the same thing as negative 32. And the other one, negative 44, negative 2 is negative 46. And finally, 12 minus 12 is 0. So this is our new matrix after simplifying 4x minus 2y. So now let us look on to the last question. All right, here is our last question. It says that given that a matrix A is this, B this, C that, we're asked to simplify A multiplied by B, A multiplied by C, A plus C, and lastly, we're asked to simplify A multiplied by B plus C. All right, let us begin with this, which is just the same thing as a matrix multiplication. So for A, we want to multiply A by B, which is the same thing as matrix A. We have the entries as 1, 2, 4, negative 3. We have the other entry as 5, 6, 0, and 1. Remember, I told you can only multiply two matrices together if and only if the number of columns from the first matrix are exactly equal to the number of rows from the second matrix. So you can see this matrix is 2 by 2. This is also 2 by 2. We have columns here, we have rows here. They are exactly the same, so you can multiply the matrix together. And the row here and the column here will always determine the order of our resulting matrix. So if we multiply these two matrices together, we are going to obtain a new matrix of the order 2 by 2. So now let us begin. This is going to be equal to, you're going to take the first row here to multiply the first column here for you to obtain the first row, first column element. So let's begin. You say 1 times 5, we have 1 times 5. You add 4 times 6, we have 4 multiplied by 6. This is going to be our first row, first column element. Then for the first row, second column element, you take the first row here, you multiply by the second column. 1 times 0, we have 1 times 0. You add 2 times, you add 4 times 1. This is first row, first column, first row, second column. We are moving on to the second row, first column. You take the second row here, you multiply by the first column to the other matrix. We have 2 multiplied by 5. You add, you take negative 3, you also multiply it by 6. Then you move. You take this, you multiply by that, 2 multiplied by 0, you add negative 3 multiplied by 1. You close, you simplify and obtain your final answer. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 6 is 24. Then 24 plus 5 is 29. So we have 29 here. You move. 0 times 1 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 0 is 4. So we have 4 here. Coming down, we have 2 times 5, is 10. Then negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. So we have negative 18. 10 minus 18 is negative 8. So we have negative 8 here. Lastly, this time this is 0. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. So this is our new matrix after multiplying A by B. All right, let us move on to the second one, which is a multiplication of a matrix A by matrix C. We have A multiplied by C, which is the same thing as matrix A. We have it as 1, 2, 4, negative 3. And matrix C, we have it as 3, 3, 2, negative 1. This is equal to, as well, this is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix after multiplying these two matrices together. You take 1 here, you multiply by 3, 1 multiplied by 3. You add, you take the first row, second column element, you multiply by this 2. We have 4 multiplied by 2. You give a space for the first row, second column element. You take the first row here, multiply by the second column, the other matrix. We have 1 times 3. You add 4 times negative 1. You come down for the second row, first column element. 2 times 3. You add with negative 3 multiplied by 2. This 2. Then you move on, you take the same row, multiply by the second column. 2 times 3. You add, you take negative 3. You multiply by this negative 1. You close and simplify, obtain your final result. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. Then 8 plus 3 is 11. So we have 11 here. Move on. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So we have negative 4 and 3. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. We have negative 1 here. Coming down here, you can see this is 6. This is negative 6. It is going to be 6 minus 6, which is 0. Here we have 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. If you add them together, you shall obtain 9. So this is 9, which is the result after multiplying matrix A by matrix C. Now let us move on to this other part, which is A plus C. The C part, we want to add these two matrices together. You know, it is as simple as adding each entry together with its corresponding entry to the other matrix. So this is equal to, for matrix A, we have 1, 2, 4, -3. For the other matrix, we have matrix C, 3, 3, 2, -1. This is equal to, we take each matrix, add it to the other corresponding matrix. This becomes 1 plus 3. You give a space, 4 plus 3. Come down here, 2 plus 2. Then -3 plus -1. We simplify and obtain our final result. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. You know, this negative is going to overpower this positive sign. So we have -3, -1, which is -4. Finally, this is what we have as A plus C, a new matrix of the order 2 by 2. Now let us move on to the last one, which is A multiplied by B plus C. The D part, we want to simplify this. As always, we can apply BODMAS. We start with the bracket first. The bracket is B plus C, which is equal to our matrix B is 5, 6, 0, and 1. And for the matrix C, we have 3, 3, 2, -1. I'll do this directly. We take 5, we add it to 3, we get 8. Take 0, add it to 3, you get 3. Take 6, add it to 2, you get 8. Take this, add it to this, you get 0. So this is what we have under the bracket. Then for A multiplied by the whole of this, A multiplied by B plus C is the same thing as taking the matrix A, which we have the entries as 1, 2, 4, -3. Then multiply that by the result, which we have obtained as 8, 8, 3, and 0. As always, take this, multiply by the first column. We have 1 multiplied by 8. We add, we take 4. We multiply by 8. We give a space. We take the same row, multiply by the other column, second column. We have 1 multiplied by 3. You add, you take 4, you multiply by 0. Coming down here, you take the second row, you multiply by each of these columns. We have 2, 8 plus -3, 8. Then you take the other column, you take 2, this 2 multiply by 3. Take -3, you multiply by 0. You close, simplify, and obtain your final answer. So 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, let me do it directly. Then 4 times 8 is 32. So you see we have 8 plus 32, which is equal to 40. So this is 40. You move on, we have 3 and 0, which is 3. Coming down here, we have this time, this is 16 plus this time, this is -24, because -3 times 4 is -24. Then 16 minus 24 is -8. So we have -8 here. Then the last entry we have, this is 0, this is 6. So this becomes 6. this is A multiplied by B plus C. So after multiplying A by B plus C, this is what you're going to obtain. A new entry 43, negative 8 and 6. And this is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Do have a nice day.